just a good old boy.
Alright, y'all. We're going to be working on this Kuhns MFG AF10 today. I have got the roller kit they sent me in that is going to change the pitch of the downfall. And it also allows the hay to catch more speed as it goes over top. This is it. It bolts right up there, right about where that plate comes down on the top. There's a flat spot, and that's where it's going to bolt. This is all warranty. They sent it to me to fix this thing. As y'all know, I tried the springs, and they didn't work out. And then the plates, we also put that kit on, the spring and plate kit. It seemed to help the slots going in and these doors working right with the new springs, but one of them messed up on me, so I wound up put the old springs back on. It seemed to help the sliding down, but it didn't help the turning. They just don't get up enough speed sometimes if you're not on flat ground or ground where you're going uphill. If you're going downhill, they don't get enough arc coming down to catch enough speed to slide down in here. That was why we put this paint on. It's worked really good. This I can't even think of the dang name of it. Hold on a minute, I'll tell you. Easy slide, E-slide, graphite based coating. This it has worked a miracle on that thing, and I don't have any issues with it as long as it's not wearing through down in here anywhere. It does a little bit here, but I've also sprayed these on both sides, really help with the turning. This roller is supposed to help that because it's going to help it catch more speed as it comes down, and that's going to help us get that. Hopefully this is going to be the fix for it. I've had one person tell me they've already did this, and they actually recommended to me to contact Kuhns and ask them about this, and I did, and that's how I got to do this. And then one of y'all messaged me the other day that y'all talked to Rhett, and they was going to contact me about getting this, and they just bought one of these. I really like these Kuhns MFG systems. You don't have to get this pattern. You can get 4 straight on each side and get an 8-pack. I mean, they got them in I think 16s, 10 on the edge. They'll all be on the edge, and straight up and down there'll be 5 rows of 2 to make 10. They got all different kinds of patterns, so you don't have to get the same pattern I did. I really like this pattern though. It goes well for filling out a trailer in time. So with this, it comes with a template that you lay up top, and you drill 4 holes, and then it bolts right in place. This template just lays up there, and then you drill through it. So let's hop up there and do that. Alright, so I got this template up here. You just lay it up here and drill the holes through it. So with 3/8 drill bit. So we're gonna see how this works. That's probably that. I'm gonna need my darn tap these things. Yep, I'm gonna have to tap it. Let me go get my tap. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. top. Right, put some force down on this thing. We have to get the cord on. I need me a D-Walt drill, 20 volt to go with my other stuff. I've had this old Makita since 2010. It's been a good one, but I got all the batteries from the other ones. Or just get... Here we go. There's a felt button. Stop it. So one thing, they make this thing go good steel. Yeah, maybe that thing goes like this. Shouldn't matter, but let's see how she looks when I tighten her up. When I don't like that, I might have to re-drill them holes. Okay, I got it adjusted. Now it's got little slots to adjust it. That's it. It just lays here and it makes that continue just a little higher, as y'all can see. And then when the bell comes over, it'll roll it right off. So we'll see how it does. I don't know how it's gonna do. But we'll just have to try it and see. I gotta tighten it down, but I mean that's the gist of it. Alright, I got it installed, no contact once I got it slid over with the adjustment it had to mount it. So it's all clear. And then there it is from the top. Again, I contacted Kuhns directly and they sent me this warranted, no cost.
Dad.
There's Dad calling me. Warranty, no cost. And everybody kind of gives me a little bit of grief about this thing, but I mean, for the amount of hay we run through it, it's done good. I mean, when you're baling 10 to 20,000 square bales a year, it puts some wear on stuff in a hurry. And you can find every little thing that's wrong with a piece of machinery, and quick. And I'm gonna find it if there's something wrong with it, and as much hay as we're baling, and it's done good. Two things I'd like to see them do different on future models. I want to see them go back to the cage, or at least a small cage, maybe mounted at the top, so that way you can push these up, maybe just the last couple feet that's in there, and make the bars kind of bend up, so that way it's kind of got a funnel to go through. Because once it gets to the top, sometimes if the bale catches wrong right in here and it makes it a little bit U-shaped or banana shaped because it gets pinched, they can kick over if you're on hilly ground. And if they had that rack probably from about here up, from about right there up, and had like the end tubing been up like they used to have, that would solve that problem. You wouldn't have that issue anymore with it dumping back over. There ain't a lot you can do right here besides maybe extend these flares, but that's about it. And that's it. I mean, other than that and it not getting enough speed coming down, which the paint pretty well fixed that, it's done good. I had the one issue here with it tripping, not tripping, because this clamp was not holding on to the trip bar right, and I drilled through it and put a case hardened bowl in there, and that solved that issue. Really, that's it. It's done good other than that. Now, when you're baling with these accumulators, whatever kind it is, if you ain't never used one with the grapples and stuff, there's two things you've got to do. You've got to figure out what length these things like to be run at, the bales, and you've got to have your bales tight with the hooks and the grapples. If you're trying to bale loose hay and loose bales, they'll fall out of the grapples and they won't catch or hold in the grapple. You've got to make sure your bales are good, dense bales. Mine, personally, I like my bales to where when you grab them, the strings don't come up no more than that. At the most, wherever your hands are. I like mine tight, and I like them when I cut the strings, they blow open. That's just what I like. I run 210 knot strength twine on mine, and I don't ever have no issues grabbing them. They don't never bust, and my customers are really happy with them because there's a good amount of hay in them. They're not some of these little pine straw bales, I call them, that you see out there a lot of times. And I don't like doing that because people get mad when you bale hay like that. And I like a good, tight, dense bale. And that's what these accumulators like. And I don't care if it's Kuhns, Holster, whatever you're running, Steffens, whatever it is, they like good, perfect. They like a certain length and they like a certain tightness. A lot of people wonder, a lot of times I've seen other people do a bale at 42-inch bale, some people will, and they'll wonder why some guys run 38, 39-inch bales, I think is what they are. I was always one that run 40s, about a 40-inch bale. The reason why you got to run a certain length is because these accumulators ask for it, whatever brand it is. Most of them like to be around about like a 38 or 9. I have seen some bales at 36, some even smaller, but they work best about a 38-inch, 39-inch bale, and I like them tight. And that's what works best in these things. And they've got to be tight for them hooks to set right. And then when you get them tight, you've got to push down so with a little bit of downforce onto the bale to get the hooks to set in, because the bales are a little more dense. And then you won't have no dropping issues and nothing like that. And you got to, when you pull them in and you group them, you got to make sure your groups are tight when you grab them. If they got gaps in between them, they'll fall out because the bales don't hook and set right in the hooks. You've got to get the packs tight and pushed together good when you grab them with the grapples, and that's any grapple you use. You've got to make sure that you get the bales pushed together. You drive up and hit them with a bar and turn to the left a little bit on mine, because my bar is on the right, and that'll push the groupings together to where they're firm tight. When they dump out, they're going to be a little bit loose. I don't care which one it is, because they all dump, and as they come out and slide off, they will loosen up some, no matter how you got the accumulator set for when they come out. And this is any accumulator. The preservative applicator, I don't know if any of y'all noticed, but it has not been put on the new baler yet. I hadn't needed it. That's why it ain't on there. It works great. I've had zero complaints. I'm so glad I built that thing myself instead of paying $2,000 or $3,000 for a new one that they cost. I mean, it's just, all they are is a boomed ATV sprayer and a moisture tester. That's it. You're going to need a regulator like a regular sprayer does, with an adjustment gauge to get your PSI right. And you've got to have there's two key things to them that's a little bit difficult to get. You've got to get the calculation charts for a system, whether it's Harvest Tech or something like that. You've got to get the calculation charts off of somebody that's got one, so that way you can look at it and calculate exactly how much you got to put on that bale. Once you get the calculation charts they'll have the tip numbers in there, the parts numbers for them, and you call that distributor, whoever, whatever brand it is, and you order your tips, because you've got to get the tips from them, because they're not your average sprayer tips for the preservative applicators. They're really fine. They're almost a mist fine. Regular sprayer tips like you get at Tractor Supply or something will not work. They're too heavy of a flow. You've got to get the real fine ones, and when I looked, T-Jet and them didn't sell them online that fine. I think they had the entry level, which was a really high flow for really high moisture. I run the lowest one for squares. The boom widths don't matter. You can add 4 nozzles. My square baler uses 2. You just need a good coverage over your throat. If you're using a round baler, it'll work on a round baler. Same thing I built with, or a square baler. You just got to cover the full width of the throat with a good coverage of V, where it'll spray just like a regular sprayer would across the ground. And you got to get the conversion charts off somebody who's got one that you know, and then you've got to get the tips from that company. Now, the thing I ran into with the AGCO tips was, which I think it's a Harvest Tech system, they're threaded. They're not like a regular sprayer tip that just fits down into the little cup, if you know what I'm talking about, and it screws up there on the T-nozzles. They're threaded, so you got to get an adapter. Let me show you the adapter. Other than these few little things, there's just a few little things, and they can be a little bit of a pain to find to get you where you need to be. What I found was these. They're threaded on the inside, and then they got this. They look just like the little cups that you normally would buy, but they're brass and they're threaded. You're going to need those in order to get the tips, the AGCO branded ones or Harvest Tech branded ones, to work with it, to screw into a regular plastic T. Once you get that, they're just screw right in. And it's simple. If you got the conversion charts in, you just adjust your regulator to certain PSI you need. Don't waste this is my opinion, and my opinion alone. Somebody else may have a different opinion. Don't waste your money if you're thinking, well, I don't want to have to sit there and flip a switch on and off, on a automatic system. They're a lot more money that once it reaches a certain percentage, it'll kick on and off. It's not worth it. The thing I found when doing this is you're not going to drive around the field and when the percentage starts to tick up, flip the switch on and off. If you're in an area where it's kind of close, you need to have the switch on all the time, because if you don't, by the time the hay gets to the moisture sensor, no matter if you buy the kit, the system or not, if it jumps up, if it's not a non-automated system. Now, I don't know how the automated works. I think you can probably preset the tolerance, and once it gets so high, it'll kick on. Once it gets within a 2% is what I generally like to see of the threshold where I think it'll mold. I flip the switch on and just run it, and then once I see it go below that and stay below it, I'll flip it off just to be safe. But it's worked really good. I've had good results out of it. Can't complain. I really like that. Yeah, I know who it's. I'm pretty sure Harvest Tech makes it, the AGCO preservative. But make sure if you do get a kit going or buy one or whatever, buy a preservative that is the non-corrosive kind. AGCO's is not harmful to the machinery. I know for sure it's not, because that's what I use, and it works good. The odor is not bad at all on it. Smells like really good baled hay for about a week. A little bit strong, then it goes away. And then after that, it's not bad. Now, if you open the bottle and smell into it, it'll about knock you down. But with it diluted onto the hay and sprayed properly, it's not. It just smells like good hay. It's good stuff. I've had excellent results out of it. And if the customer does not know that it has it on it, and you sell them hay with it and without it, they will actually choose the hay that has it on it, is what I found. I don't know why. The horses like it. And that's kind of what I've found when I've done tests and things, just to see how it would look. The horse actually will like the hay with the preservative on it, typically better if it's applied properly than hay without it. I don't know what it is, but that's what I've seen. And it's just, it's basically kind of like citric acid, orange juice. It's not harmful to them. It's not harmful to you. It's not. It's good stuff. I mean, it works and it works good. It's expensive. I do not recommend using it unless you have to. This year I have not had to have it. Since we bought the new baler, I did use a little bit of it this spring. And that's why the kit's not on there. I got to make a new mountain bracket for my tank. But if you've got a boomed ATV sprayer, you can make one. Once you get the conversion charts and the tips, which the tips aren't expensive, you've got everything you need right there. Unless your pump doesn't have a regulator knob, just a regular sprayer regulator, the little screw kind, and a pressure gauge on it, and that way you can set the amount of pressure it's on it, just like a regular sprayer. And that's it. And you'll need a moisture tester. If you don't want to buy a moisture tester, you don't have to have one. You can actually, if you've got a tester probe already, you can just test the field. If the field's looking like it's going to be close, just flip the switch on and spray the whole field. You don't have to have the moisture sensor. It's nice to have, but it's not a necessity. You can get by without it, and you can build one pretty cheap, especially if you've got the sprayer already, which I did, and you can make one damn dirt cheap compared to what they cost new. There's nothing to them. Basically, all you're paying for when you buy one is the conversion, the calculation charts, and the tips. Other than that, they ain't no different than an ATV sprayer. They may look a little fancier, but that's all they're made to. And I like mine, so it's worked out good for us. And they're not hard to build. Once you get what I said, after that it's easy. It's just basically like rigging up a sprayer on the thing. If you got any knowledge about using like a regular 3-point sprayer behind a tractor or something like that, you can build one. They're not that complicated to rig up, especially for what they cost. And it's not hard to do. So thank y'all for watching. I hope this helps anybody that might get this kit or whatnot from Kuhns. And on installing things, it's really easy. Just lay the template up there, use a 3/8 drill bit, drill the holes out, tap them, bolt it on. Not a big deal. I will be letting y'all know how this works out and if it actually works. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.